And we're back. You're listening to episode 102 of Fresh Floppies.
Can I tell you how much I hate it?
Oh, that part?
That part.
Why? You didn't see that? Wait, are you still recording?
Yes.
Yeah, good. That's a classic SNL sketch.
Oh, yeah.
Just constantly hitting the button, and we're back. Like two radio DJs kind of going at it with each other.
it.
Like, and we're back.
What's up to our sidekicks and henchfolk out there in the Geek Nation? You're currently listening to Fresh Floppies, a show wherein Jeremy
Hi.
and Noel
I'm back.
are going to talk about this week's books, but without spoilers, so relax about it. We're going to get started real quick.
If
Real slow.
anybody listening that wants to let us know which intro you preferred, it's the 1980s, circa 80s, 90s radio DJ, drive time radio DJ, or I don't know what the fuck were you doing? NPR, smooth,
NPR
jazz.
Smooth.
Let us
Dave
know.
Mattingly.
Right in at
CultPop
CultPopGo@gmail.com.
Jesus,
Joe Fan Joe. All right. Anyway,
hey, Fantastic Four. There's a couple of them.
it's the month of Fantastics Four.
Ryan North, Humberto Ramos, Victor Olezaba, and Edgar Delgado. So this is the continuation of the Ryan North penned Fantastic Four that's been going on for, 2 years now, 3 years, something like that.
Close to three. Three.
It's very good.
Mm-hmm.
This run has been very good. And they just decided we're going to stop it, and we're going to start it again with a new number one because there's a movie coming out, and more people buy number ones than they do number 33s.
That's the business reason.
Yeah.
But Ryan North being a cool guy, he put it in the letters in the back.
He did address
I saw
it.
that. There's a reason.
Yeah, he's like, there's a reason. Because, like, this, if you are reading the current Fantastic Four, awesome. If you're reading One World Under Doom, awesome. This directly, but also indirectly ties into that. Like, he does this really cool story thing where the Fantastic Four are a bit shunted away from the event, but it's in continuity, and we almost have a bottle episode scenario that is not tied into heavy continuity. So it's actually pretty smart. Like,
Yeah,
it's not just like a random number one, right?
No, I'm behind on One World Under Doom stuff, and this was awesome. I was a little concerned that I was gonna like spoil something or miss something, but no, it's all good.
Yeah, I thought so too. I was like, well, I'm not reading the current, but I am reading Doom. Okay. And this was just so super friendly. Like, I loved it.
Yeah, no, this was awesome. I really like this. Ryan North's writing the hell out of the Fantastic Four, which is a team that I historically do not care about. I dip in for certain runs if it seems interesting or a new writer is taking it. And Ryan North is not one of those writers for me. I don't see a Ryan North on a book yet, but now he's right. He's like he's jumping up the chart for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just on his run from Fantastic Four that's been going on, and this is a nice little adventure where everyone is shunted. Well, the four are shunted to different eras of time.
Yeah.
And then how they deal with that. And then we get a cliffhanger.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
You know,
I have one. I can't spoil it, but the thing at the cliffhanger is like, well, that doesn't make any sense, but that's all right. So yeah, a lot of his issues, I think, from the current run, the previous run, were one and dones, like little mini adventures, right?
A little bit, yeah. Like mostly one and done, some one twos, but with like an
Very
overarching kind of longer story, but totally jumping friendly.
Yeah, no, this is great. If you're interested in the Fantastic Four, curious about the Fantastic Four,
Humberto Ramos. What do you think of his art in this? I really enjoyed it. I get a little with Humberto Ramos. Sometimes his work is busy and really. Best thing I could think of is saying noisy.
Yeah,
because it's just
not here though.
No, it's super
very
restrained.
Clean. Yeah,
super restrained, very clean. It leans into the story as opposed to does its own thing. Because there's been some runs of his on like Spider-Man where it's just all over the place.
Yeah,
this is like really contained, and I almost appreciated it more. Like, yeah.
I wonder if part of it has to do with the fact that they're in different time periods and it's not a bunch of cityscapes.
Yeah, right.
You've got grass and desert.
It's also it's probably a denser script that he's they're working with. So it's like, there's a little bit more of a mandate as opposed to, all right, and here's 3 pages of the city and web slinging.
Yeah. But no, this is really fun. This is pretty fresh.
Yeah, I think it's fresh. I think it's fresh as hell. Fresh
as hell. Oh, that's a new one.
Yeah,
fresh as hell.
Fresh AH. It's not as
it's
not as fresh as fresh AF.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fresh.
No, this was fun. Yeah, I definitely recommend picking it up.
What about you, Jay?
I agree.
Oh my.
Fresh
There's another Fantastic Four that came out. So yeah, we didn't preface that there are 2 Fantastic Four #1s today, but this one is the official, authorized by the Future Foundation, the Fantastic Four First Steps #1, written by Matt Fraction and art by Mark Buckingham. So what makes this comic interesting and weird and kind of awesome is that this is the comic book retelling of the in-universe continuity that is going to be the Fantastic Four First Steps MCU movie.
Yes, as if the upcoming Fantastic Four movie has a Marvel Comics office in that universe, and though that Marvel Comics created a comic book based on the real life Fantastic Four in their universe.
Yes.
Very fun. I love that.
Even
What a
it's
fun
very
idea.
cool.
I'm a
Even
sucker for dumb shit like that.
The credits in the back.
Dude, all the ads in there are like in universe, which is so cool.
I'm gonna send $2 and try to join the Flaming Hearts fan club.
I actually wondered if that's legit.
I think it's legit because like name, street, city, state, like it's all there.
Box 6. Yeah, this is so
And it's only $2. If it's not real, then I've just mailed
lost $2.
nobody $2.
I want them to just like send you back a piece of paper like a no prize.
A no prize, yeah. Jeremy, do you know what a no prize is?
Nope.
So back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, if you were reading a Marvel comic and you wrote in to the office and you noticed a problem or a plot hole or any sort of error in the book and pointed it out, you would get what's called a no prize, which is a Marvel Comics stamped envelope with nothing in it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But I wanted a no prize so bad.
In the letters, they would call it out sometimes too, like, congratulations, you win a no prize.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
I love it.
So what did you think of this comic? It's a retelling of the Mole Man incident, which is Fantastic Four #1.
Well,
right?
I've never
But
read
not.
Fantastic Four #1. I don't care. But I have a feeling that the way that this wraps up is different than the way that one wrapped up.
Very different.
So the fact that the Fantastic Four are dealing with threats like this in a different way, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't just like, we punched the Mole Man. Nailed it.
Now,
Next.
are we talking about like way back #1? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
This was the first adventure of the Fantastic Four, which is like against the Mole Man.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
There's some really fun fraction-y tricks in here too. Like he intersperses the action with quotes from. This is done almost like an oral story, an oral history.
Yeah.
So there's floating heads and quotes from other interviews with the members of the Fantastic Four as they're recounting the events of the book at the same time, and it's just really cute. There's also fake excerpts from the School of Science newsletter and Time magazine and stuff about the members. This is better than a piece of promotional material deserves to
Absolutely.
be.
Yeah.
Like this
There's
is just really cool.
There's an excerpt from Teen Living. Johnny talks from his heart, and it's an actual interview about his love life with him. Like it's talking to him about his life and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's any complaint I have about this book is that this should have been
Photo.
Yeah.
So good.
This should have been offered to retailers at like super discounted rates.
Yes. To hand out.
To hand out.
This should be a free.
or like
True.
$1 or something.
Yeah.
Well, if it was free, it would not be this thick.
That's true.
It would not be this big.
Okay, $1. You're right.
I was gonna
$1
say like
would be
this
good.
should be like a what was it? DC Universe did that a couple years ago, where it was like $1 issue and it was like 40 pages.
Yeah.
Previewed all their stuff. This should have been subsidized by Marvel Studios
Yeah.
to give retailers a butt ton of them. Even the ad in the back is fake. Everything on this is wonderful.
Yeah.
So
And
busy. You
I
see
wish it was
stars.
more accessible.
Yeah.
And this is a one shot, right? It feels like
Yeah.
one.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
I assume
that's it.
so.
It's
But yeah,
just
it's
a promotional
really
comic, but it's
fun
done
promo.
so incredibly well.
Yeah.
It is.
I really like this.
It's
This is a
done
lot of
so
fun.
well that they should have pushed it a little
like
harder.
double down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fresh AF.
Fresh AF.
What's next?
Well, JD, you and I had a chance to dip back in to the ultimate universe.
Get to
Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion #2, written by Dennis Camp and Cody Ziegler with art by Jonas Scharf.
Yeah.
You
didn't care about it last time.
The
as
first
much,
issue rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah.
I think it was a mischaracterization of both Peter and Ben.
Yeah.
Ben? His kid's name's Ben?
Yes.
Richard. No.
Oh,
Peter
shit,
and
you're
Richard.
right. It is Richard. My bad.
I thought it was a mischaracterization of that. It didn't. It felt slapdash.
Well, also, there's a scene where this kid shows up from another universe trying to find his baby sister, and Peter and Richard are like, "Well, we helped you for a couple hours. We're gonna go home now. Bye."
It was very weird.
Like, whoa.
Good
luck finding your toddler daughter, sister.
It read like they were just checking off boxes as opposed to like easing me into a story.
Yeah.
And this person shows up and this person shows up and he's looking for his kid and that great.
And then they leave for no reason.
Yeah, it was very weird.
Yeah.
This issue I liked a lot more. One, because I realized what they're doing. They're literally just touching base with every other Ultimate book.
Right.
So in this book we get a little bit of Wakanda. We get a little bit of the Ultimates, and I was like, oh, so in that book it was the prerequisite. We're touching base with the Spider people.
Yeah.
So like knowing that it's going to be almost mildly anthology like that, eased it a little bit. Like, oh, they're not a part of the story. They're just there to jump in and out.
I feel like you could have ended the last issue with Peter and Richard still there, and then some of the Ultimates show up, and then there's a time jump here.
I agree.
Right. So like you could have just time jumped. Okay, well, Peter and Richard couldn't help me find my sister, but at least the Ultimates are trying. Blah blah blah.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
I think that first issue. Frankly, I think that first issue was bad. This one, I enjoyed a lot more, and mostly because of Janet and Hank.
Yeah, that's
Janet
the most
and
interesting part of this.
Because the whole story is actually told through the perspective of Hank. His voiceover, as they've, I guess, been sitting on Miles for a couple of weeks and letting him know, like, we're looking into it here and there, and which is interesting. I know that all of the Ultimate books have this, like
time jump,
month at a time jump every issue.
It's progressing in real time.
This seems the most inorganic of all of the versions that we've seen so far, but it's fine. And I do like where we find out where his sister is. We find out a bunch of other new information, and it was interesting. This was way better than the first issue for me, but it's still a little weak.
Yeah, I still think it's fine.
It's fresh enough.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine because I'm invested in the rest of the Ultimate Universe. If this was on its own, I don't think I'd care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just fine.
But how they captured Hank and Jan was really, really great.
I'm sorry. I cannot, especially in the way it's drawn in this panel here, I still can't get over Black Panther's mask where you can see his mouth for some reason.
It's different now.
What do you mean?
Oh, he still has that cowl-esque mask, yeah. But
yeah,
the costume's a little different now.
Yeah, I don't like he's got a Batman. It's basically Batman cowl.
Yeah,
but he's calling him the Black Panther. Yeah, it's not very good.
You're not caught up on the Ultimates?
No.
How far back are you?
5 or 6 issues.
Because there is some extremely important information that happens in another book that is a big deal here. That's not on the page.
Oh, okay. Okay. And that's on Ultimates, not Black Panther?
Pretty sure it's an Ultimate. Oh, yeah, it's an Ultimates. It's like the 2 issues ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I want to catch up because I really enjoy Ultimates. This is not as strong as Ultimates.
Oh, no, not at all.
Yeah.
I think Dennis Camp's name is on there just because he helped plot it.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure this is all Cody said. When there's 2 names, it's almost always like helped plot, actually scripted.
Yeah.
I think this is mostly Cody Ziegler, and Dennis Camp is just like is the architect of the Ultimate stuff right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah.
It's fine.
It's all right.
What's next?
Let's talk about something that Jeremy and I read.
Was that Archie?
Archie meets Jay and Silent Bob?
Archie meets Jay and Kevin Smith presents
You're right,
Archie Comics #1. Archie meets Jay and Silent Bob.
Now, with art by Fernando Ruiz and Rich Kozlowski.
It fell out of the sky completely done. Nobody wrote or drew this.
What did you guys think? Basically, Archie gets a job at the Quick Stop.
Hang on, Jeremy. I know JD's, but what is your relationship at all to Kevin Smith's Aurora?
My relationship is actually pretty strong. Like, I grew up down the street from the Quick Stop that they filmed at. His
Red Bank.
secret stash well, actually, the Quick Stop's not in Red Bank. It's in Atlantic Highlands.
Fuck off.
His comic shop secret stash is in Red Bank. That was my first comic shop I ever went to.
Oh, that's cool.
I
I drove was it 2 hours away from here?
I've still never been.
I drove specifically
probably.
just to go to that comic book store.
Yeah, they've
Did
also
you get a meal and stuff too, though?
Like at
Well,
the comic book store?
Well, no, while you were there, it seems like just a trip to a comic book store. That's
I'm
like four
sure
and a half
we
hours.
ate at a diner.
That's
Yeah.
all. I
Yeah.
want to make sure that you're satiated.
Thank
Red
you.
Bank used to have a
See?
really good diner, and then they replaced it. And I'm still salty about it, but
What's that?
I said Red Bank used to have a really good diner,
Yeah.
but then they replaced it.
Did you eat at that diner?
Probably. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I ate at the really good diner at Red Bank. Right.
It's replaced now, though. 'Cause
Damn
you
it.
went a
Yeah.
couple
Oh,
years
I
ago.
love that.
Yeah.
No,
the diner you went to.
they replaced it
What'd
with
you
they replaced it with some hipster shit called Toast, and then it was like the
Oh.
end of my high school years, and I was like, get fucked. Anyway, I'm mad about it still. Clearly,
Toast.
Toast.
Wait,
Uh-huh.
was it just like avocado toast and stuff? Or?
No, it was just they tried to take a diner and make it expensive, and they fired all the old people who were working there, and then rehired and made it all hipster and shit. And I'm still mad about it. Clearly,
Clearly.
Yeah. Anyway, I haven't been back to Red Bank in a while. There's an arcade there that's really fun. Anyway, okay, Kevin Smith.
Tangents are the point. No.
Yeah, totally. Now, although I have attachment to Kevin Smith stuff, I have no attachment to Archie. This is the first time I've ever held anything in my hands that says Archie on it.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was honestly, it was the same,
Yeah.
pleasantly, I don't want to say mediocre because that seems harsh, but the
Nah.
same, pleasantly
You're good.
mediocre stuff that you expect from Kevin Smith, and you get a few chuckles, and I'm not complaining. It's pretty much exactly what I expect. There's
Right.
subtle references to his other films. Like they don't, I mean, like, aside
I
from
like the subtle
fact-
reference of Jay and Silent Bob.
Well, no, I mean, like,
There's-
I know
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm being a dickhead.
so obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but everything is mainly focused on Quick Stop still.
Did you see Clerks 3?
I tried. You lent it to me, and I gave up. I couldn't
This
finish
takes
it.
place in continuity after Clerks 3.
I didn't
and
realize
it has to
he
do with
died.
yeah, because you didn't finish the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
also
Kevin
didn't
Smith's
see-
fault, not mine.
That's fair. I'm still never gonna watch that
Tusk?
Walrus one. Yes,
Tusk was awesome.
It's
I
Was
love
it?
Tusk.
Yeah.
I have no
I
desire.
couldn't do without the very last scene, but the rest of it
The
was
rest
dope.
of it's great.
Yeah.
And it's got, what's his name? Oh, he's so good.
Justin Long.
No. I mean, he's fine too.
Oh, Michael Parks.
Michael Parks. Love that dude. Anyway,
good.
go ahead.
I mean, that's it. It was
I
it
think
was solid. If you
It's
like,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
This
I
was-
read half of it. I
If
was like,
you-
oh, yep, this is precisely what I expected.
if you
I
like
think-
Kevin Smith content, you'll like it.
It's like, oh,
If not,
Archie,
don't
but with
bother.
the word fuck in it. Okay.
Yeah.
I do love Archie. I've read over the years. Actually, Archie. Every time somebody comes in looking for Archie comics, I was just like, help me learn to read, because Archie comics used to be.
Oh,
it
you're
still
not
is.
asking them to help you learn to read. You're
No,
telling them
that helped me learn to
Archie
read.
previously
Yeah,
helped me learn how to read.
because they used to sell for
Yeah.
like $3 the giant digests in the supermarket racks, and when I was in the cart, my mom let me buy one.
Yeah,
so like
same.
Archie helped me learn to read.
Same.
Archie comics are fantastic.
Yep.
I think this is better than mediocre, not because I like
Sure.
on Kevin Smith, but he successfully captures both tones at the same time without one overtaking the other. The joke being that Archie is such a purebred, and Randall doing his best to not overstep that, but still be Randall.
Yeah.
And I genuinely had a couple of really good laughs in this.
Oh yeah.
It was snappier than I thought it was going to be.
I will say it flowed better and was less awkward than I would have expected.
Yeah.
Certainly. And yeah, there were a couple laughs for sure.
I've read the some of the other like more recent little fun Archie things, and this might be the best one so far, because it actually does kind of capture. I could tell that Kevin Smith is a fan of Archie. Like, there's some deep continuity fun stuff in here. There's some silliness, and then this is the most charming I've found Randall ever,
That's valid, yeah.
because Randall's a piece of shit.
Totally.
But since the death of Dante, he seems to be a little bit more like, he's still the same person, but he's, I guess, more mature.
I'm sorry. I was okay. You guys are talking. I'm not paying attention.
Right.
I'm reading the book, and because I've read half of it before we started, and I was like, I mean, I didn't laugh once at this so far. But then, as you guys were talking, Betty kicks him in the balls, and he goes, "Oh, she got me right in the Reggies." Yeah, and that made me laugh.
There's a lot of really fun stuff in here. I enjoy. I thought this was better than it had any right to be, and I really, really enjoyed it. I think this is just going to be a one-off. I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, seems that way.
Oh yeah, it literally says one shot.
Oh, nice.
It's
It's nice to actually
Snoogans.
disclose that as opposed
Snoogans,
to
you
most
freckled
comics.
fuck. Oh, god damn it.
There's some genuinely good jokes in this. I
I will say I hate how consistently I laugh at Jay's bullshit. Like
Right,
in all mediums.
oh yeah, there's a lot of that's Scott
Yeah.
Mosier.
Scott
There-
Mosier, yeah.
There's a couple of
he does a good likeness.
there's a couple of good little cameos and stuff.
Nice.
There's a bunch of like Clerks era cameos and stuff too. And in the back they actually give you credits of the actors portraying the characters. This is
Okay,
a
that's pretty
really
fun.
really well done one shot. I was very impressed. I really thought it was going to be more cash grabby and like, oh yeah, cool, whatever, that's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, look at how cute that is. But you could tell that everyone gives a shit and really put it up. I was happy with this.
This
Hell yeah.
actor is alive still, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I also had to look that up because I was like, this isn't just a reference to him dying IRL,
Brian
right? It is not.
O'Halloran is not dead.
Okay.
It felt the end felt like a tribute, and I was like, I need
that's
to make
that's
sure.
what I'm looking at. Like, wait a minute, did he die?
And it also has the continuity of a Jay and Silent Bob reboot in there with Jay's daughter. And
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
a-
well, I forgot about her.
yeah.
Right.
This
Yeah.
is a fun. This is a fun book. I was
Yeah.
I was expecting little and I got a lot. It
I
was
will
cool.
say probably only for Kevin Smith fans.
Absolutely. I would.
I don't
Yeah.
think this is for anyone to just pick up. Oh, I wonder what Jay and Silent Bob are about. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also,
If you're here for Archie, it's
if you
probably
haven't seen the last if you've only seen Clerks, then you're fine.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the last 3 movies, it doesn't matter.
not. Yeah.
I think half of what makes it funny is reading some of these things in those characters' voices internally.
You can hear
So
him. Yeah.
So I agree. Yeah, one film and you're probably good.
Yeah. If you dropped off at Clerks 2, you're good.
I actually enjoyed Clerks too.
So did I.
Mallrats was my favorite for the longest time. I really loved Mallrats.
I enjoyed
As a
Dogma.
younger man, Mallrats was my favorite.
Yeah. Now
But
it's Dogma, isn't it?
Yeah, Dogma's my favorite now.
Dogma's good.
Like the more
Is that
the
coming
older I
out
get, the more-
soon in
Yeah.
media?
Yeah, I think so,
Wonderful.
like end of
Fizzies.
summer.
As we call fizzy meds. Physical media.
Oh, I see.
What are we talking about next?
I'll tell you, it's my turn. David Marquez and Marisa Luis and DC Hopkins. That's a good name, DC Hopkins. The Unchosen from Image Comics, #1. David Marquez, you may know as the artist who took over for Sarah Pichelli after she left Ultimate Spider-Man back when he was still in the Ultimate Universe originally. And now he is writing and drawing a new magical series, which is quite good.
Oh, was this the comic
This
that
is the
you
one.
you told me you wanted me to read, but then lost?
Yeah, I
Nice.
didn't lose it. It was
Right,
just
right.
at my home
I-
because I was reading it.
Gotcha.
Misplaced it.
Yeah.
Sure.
At its home.
So yeah, it's basically just this girl has magic. She wakes up and in the middle of a blast, kind of like Savage Dragon. There are elders there who are magicians who know about her, and she sort of has lost her memory, doesn't know what happened before she woke up. And then she goes to this magic school. Not Hogwarts, let's call it.
Sure.
And
Not warts.
Yeah,
Not
not
warts.
warts. Ugh. But yeah, if you like a good magic book, like young magic book, this is really good. I really like this.
Is this magic within normal world, or is it a magical
This is a
world?
magical world.
How is
Okay.
it, and how is David Marquez's writing?
Oh, it's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this a lot. In fact, I went back to look and I was like, David Marquez wrote it, but then Marisa Louise must have been the artist. But I'm like, this Marisa Louise is doing a very good David Marquez.
Is it?
And then I
just his
realized,
inker
oh,
colorist?
that's just the color art.
Nice.
Marissa does the color, but story and art by David Marquez. Yeah, and it does this thing where in the beginning there was the word, and it's her waking up in the middle of a pit, like a blast pit, and all she says is "fuck," but the fuck's been scribbled out, so you can't read it.
Nice.
But yeah, this is off to a good start. I was surprised.
Nice.
Flip through that. Look at it. It's pretty fresh.
I'll get flipping, dude.
Jeremy. So yeah,
I'll read it whenever.
there's not a whole lot that I can give you without spoiling it, but yeah, I liked it.
Hogwarts. So like
It's so gross.
pig pimples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Pimples
Pig pimple,
Academy.
Swine boil.
What's
All right,
next?
I'll go. I know you're familiar with, but Jeremy, are you familiar with Bad Idea Comics?
No.
Superman.
Are you familiar with Superman? Yeah, Bad Idea Comics. No.
No.
Okay, so a couple years ago, this small publishing company, Imprint, wanted to circumvent the direct market and decided to...
Hey, Jeremy, what's the direct market?
The direct market, he just taught me this yesterday. The direct market is comic shops like this,
Yes.
as opposed to something
Like JD's Hero Complex, located at 4327 Main Street, Philadelphia, PA 19127.
I was going to say,
That's
what's the
crazy.
zip code?
I go to Secret Stash
I drive 2 hours instead of go up the road.
every Wednesday.
So they decided to circumvent the direct market and publish or send direct ship to stores. But in order to do, which I guess on the surface seems like a cool idea.
Yeah.
But in
Wait,
order
is it-
to
that's
do
great.
that, they created these like artificial or arbitrary hoops for shops to jump through to kind of create this exclusivity. So it was like you got to sign up by this date, and you have to do this, and be sure to take pictures of this here and on your social media. Like they were kind of dictating the rules as to how you would be able to get their books, which made them kind of a higher premium.
Right.
And
I didn't do any of
right?
that. I did not care. Nobody was asking me to get these books in, so I felt no need to. It just felt like a whole lot of arbitrary hullabaloo for nothing.
It was an arbitrary hullabaloo for comics, but the nothing. Yeah. I reached out to another in-state and got a couple of them when they were coming out, and my takeaway was that these are really well-constructed comics, really pretty presentations, and top-tier books that no one was reading because they were hard to find or hard to get. So now, a couple years later, they are in the direct market now, actually sending to shops instead of weird arbitrary hoops. And their first book in shops is Planet Death, written by Derek Kolstad and Robert Venditti, with art by Thomas Giarello, I think. Yeah, Tom
No,
Giarello.
I feel like I should
Tomas
clarify.
Giarello.
Also, reading about the books, they didn't interest me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like I was like, oh man, what a cool creative concept that is. I was just like, oh, okay. It's a
My
comic
problem
book.
with their first line or their first 2 lines of books was that it was mostly the same writers over and over again. So like it was a lot of Matt Kent, a lot of Robert Venditti.
Yeah,
But the
two
art,
guys I don't care about.
I ditto.
and
But the
nobody asked me about.
art was absolutely spectacular.
Yeah.
So like Tanky's was beautiful. I forget the artist. ENIAC was really good. That was like the first Matt Kent I read that I liked. There was one called The Room or Dark Room by Marguerite.
Savage.
No,
Oh.
the other one. The monstrous one.
Oh. Marjorie Liu.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then towards the back end too, Mark Russell did a couple for them, and like so it started to get better, and then all of a sudden they disappeared for a while, and now they're back.
Gotcha.
Derek Kolstad is a screenwriter
John Wick.
responsible for John Wick, and Robert Venditti has done a lot of DC work and blah blah blah. So this book is interesting.
Oh.
It is
well, there's
just-
2 issues in your hand.
Yeah, so they had a 0 issue. And then issue 1. 0 issue is the presentation of the 0 issue is all is papers. It's like newspaper stock
Yeah.
in color. It's kind of great.
Oh yeah.
Like the feel of it and stuff. It's almost like a giveaway. It's like $1. But it's got that Wednesday Comics kind of vibe. It's really pretty.
I do like this artist.
Yeah,
Who
the
is
artist
this?
Tomas Giarello is
Yeah,
just
this is
really
nice.
really great art. It's like if Jeromo Pena and Mateo Scalera had a baby with beautiful colorists.
With a little bit of Walker,
Yeah, there's a little bit of Kevin Walker in there.
Kevin Walker in there. Yeah.
It's really pretty. So this book is it's low on plot. It's just a bunch of Space Marines waking up from cryo sleep to attack this planet of nasty ass aliens, and on the way down, things don't go that well for the Marines. So it's very much kind of it's just a gauntlet setup, like all action. Here's your one character. They're going to go through a gauntlet, and maybe they'll get to where they need to go because they want to go back home and see their wife and kid. That's it. It is a very simple story, but the art is
Yeah. This
phenomenal.
This is really nice looking.
the panel layouts are awesome. Like there is very little dialogue in this entire book, but it feels dense.
And there's also a couple. Like I'm looking at one. There's a very cinematic. Just one panel, but very cinematic.
Oh, yeah.
Of this like bleed through into the next scene.
There's
very
a lot of
nicely
really
done.
cool stuff like that. And so the
This is-
0
This looks
issue
great.
recaps, or it kind of introduces 2 or 3 pieces of the full book.
Yeah.
The Zero issue actually gives you more information than the first issue does in regards to the stakes. So the actual first issue of the book is just the Marines are like, we got to do this and it's going to be hard. The Zero issue is the aliens being like, this is how hard it's going to be for them. We've got this, we've got this, we've got this, and they're all going to die.
Oh.
So like you see both kind of perspectives.
I'm going to read this. You've got me.
This was better than I thought it would be. And I am always pleasantly surprised.
I'm sorry. The quote on the back from Comic Book Club is, Planet Death is the most popular comic in the world.
Oh, it's all bullshit.
This comic you've never heard of.
Well, also too with Bad Idea, 90% of their kind of like arbitrary marketing was all tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Like they would do things where if you're the first one to buy, I actually have a couple buttons. If you're the first one to buy the first issue of a book from X shop, we'll give you a first button.
Yeah.
And later on down the road, they were like, if you have a first button, you can. They were these little buttons, they were like big pins, but they would do these things later on down the road where they would send out a newsletter saying, if you've got a first button, here's your opportunity to send it in with a check for $9.99, and we'll send you back a treat or a thing. And it would be like a variant of a comic or something like that. Or if you've got a first button, you can cash it in to enter this party at San Diego Comic-Con.
See, man.
If you've got a first button, you could. They were doing pet rocks for a while, like,
Fuck off.
and the thing about it too was it was kind of funny. Where, they're rocks. They're just rocks. Don't do this. They're just rocks. We're telling you, we're sending you back rocks.
Okay, you know what?
And they did.
That's hilarious.
But the other thing
That's
the
awesome.
thing that was a bridge too far for a lot of people was they
sent them a bridge.
yes they had this whole campaign about how they've developed they've broken science and they've developed invisible ink and invisible paper.
Fuck off.
And they have their first invisible comic book.
So it's a no prize.
And they had in a partnership with CGC, they were grading their invisible books.
That's insane.
So people were buying empty slabs with official gradings on them, and they went from 0.01 to 10.
That's
and a bunch of them in the
funny.
market.
That's
So
hilarious.
there are some collectors who were like, fuck yes, I am so buying a no book.
I would buy a no book,
And
depending on the price.
Other people were freaking out about like, this sullies the credulity of CGC. This is absolute bullshit. What are you guys doing? And it's like, I'm over here being like, it's all speculation.
Yeah.
And it's only worth what people pay. So relax.
You know what? That's funny.
I think it's funny
I
too.
like that.
So they were doing really fun stuff, but they were doing in such a small silo that I think they got a bit of a bad rap. But I'm glad that they're actually available in stores now, and people should give it a shot. Some of this stuff's cool. They were doing a lot of Kickstarter shit too.
Yeah.
And it looks like some of the Kickstarter stuff that they were doing, they're going to be printing in issues later. So there's a preview of the books coming in the back that some of them look
Yeah,
pretty damn cool.
Cul-de-sac looks good. I didn't realize that was a bad idea, book.
Stop Now looks cool. There's a couple of really good looking stuff coming out. I'm interested in that
maybe they'll
idea.
win me over now that, and they're not doing all the rigmarole.
But I did look into like I want to buy a 0.01
yeah.
graded invisible comic.
That's funny.
But,
Let me know how much that is.
a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Because they're so rare.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
But yeah, I would say this is pretty damn fresh. Planet Death #1 by Derek Kolstad, Robert Venditti, and Tomas Giorello. It's pretty damn fresh.
Just flipping through seems pretty cool because honestly, first impressions makes me think of, I don't know if either of you guys have played it, makes me think of Helldivers, where the whole concept is like all these soldiers are disposable. We shoot them down to these alien planets. We expect them to die, then just immediately replace them, kind of thing. And it sort of gives off that vibe initially. But then also I can see that the aliens they're fighting look like they're out of World of Warcraft as opposed to just like giant bug type things.
It does
It
have.
it looks fun.
It does have the vibes of a video game tie-in.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Oh, what do we got? Oh, hey, Jeremy, why don't you talk to us about Absolute Superman
Absolute Duperman number
9
by hold on.
Jason Aaron?
I've practiced.
And
Okay.
Rafa Sandoval.
That's fine. I didn't need to tell anybody.
Wait, we'll do it again. Hey, who's this by?
Aaron and Sandoval.
Jason, Aaron.
Yeah, Absolute Superman remains my favorite Superman, or not Superman, my favorite Absolute book.
All right.
Yeah, and I think second is probably Wonder Woman, and then Batman, and then whatever. But this keeps doing that. This starts to get further into the, like, as we know, the Omega Men and Lazarus button heads the whole time. Everyone's like, we need to capture Superman, or we need Superman to help us, et cetera, et cetera. And this starts getting into basically all the moral issues of both sides of this fight. Like, Lazarus is still objectively the bad guys. We know that. That's fine. But yeah, it starts to get into more moral questions and Superman's sort of internal conflict of, like, who am I in this context of this world? What am I supposed to be doing with these powers?
Yeah.
Like, all these people expect me to be this certain thing, but I don't even know what I am.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It's, a bunch of action. Love the art, love the writing. And I love that we're actually starting to get some further characterization of Superman. Because up until this point, he's kind of just been this
On the back foot, right?
He's a little force of nature.
Yeah.
A little bit like he's just a Robin Hood with no one really knows him, and we didn't know him for a long time too. He's just a force of nature.
He was in hiding and then came out of hiding, and then honestly kind of strikes me as like an angry, confused teenager who's just also really powerful, which is kind of what it is. But
so I was gonna say, like, this. I think this book is doing what everyone seems to claim or praise those more recent DCEU movies of trying to do, of grounding the character, but though and then show how difficult it is to be this powerful.
Yeah.
Those movies did it though as like a winking god. These ones, this book is doing it like that must be a struggle.
Yeah.
Like it actually kind of, it sells the idea a lot more than those movies ever did for me.
Agreed.
Yeah. Like, so even though this is a confused teen version, I'm not annoyed with him.
not at all.
It's palpable. It makes sense. It's
Every
I'm
struggle.
not like, try better. Like, they're selling it.
I agree.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, I've actually, over the past week, I've caught up, except for I think maybe this year's show might be 1 or 2 behind, but I read like a chunk of this book over the past week. And you were right, that Brainiac issue is a horror issue.
That
So
was
gross.
rough, dude.
So gross. And a lot of this book is a lot more adult and a lot more violent and dealing with, I think, more intricate issues, I think, than most Superman books do. I'm enjoying it. It's great. I really like it. It is a very different take on Superman. You and I, when the Absolute universe started, we were saying that like it kind of keeps the vibe of the original hero, but makes things more difficult for them. I don't know if I agree with that with this particular version of Superman so far. I think I had texted you. I was like, I think part of why I'm enjoying the Joshua Williamson main Superman book is that it's a regular Superman who has hope and does the right thing and isn't angry and all this other stuff. And this is a very different vibe than that. So, but they both have room to exist.
I was going to say, like, they're doing different things, but I would contend that they're doing the same thing from different directions. So this is in Absolute Superman. This is a Superman that should not have hope because of all the shit he's been through, and is desperately searching for it because he was shown kindness and he is trying to do good.
Yes.
So that hope is the thing, but he is removed from all of the support and love that the mainline Superman got. So it is the same character, but it's like the horseshoe theory. They both decide to do good, but they're doing it from, one is seeking a way to fill the hope that he feels, and the other one is driven by hope, and they're both doing good in search of or in preservation of the same thing. And I think that is really fucking cool.
I think I'm so sorry to bring it back to like the Snyder version of Superman, but
Never be
I
sorry.
think what's missing but in that version versus this version is that version has this type of character despite having all of the privileges that the original Superman has. This Superman, for anyone who hasn't read Absolute Superman yet, this Superman basically doesn't leave Krypton until he's
12, 13.
preteen or early teens. He leaves Krypton with a lot of Kryptonians. They've all got their ships, and then you just see the ships exploding one by one by one until he's the last ship that has made it out of the atmosphere, and then spends light years alone with all he has is this AI soul, right? And right before they cannot find an inhabitable planet, and he's there for months, if not years, in that ship by himself, slowly going insane, right? You would think.
Yeah.
And he's about to commit suicide. There's a point where he's like, "Hey, Soul, you can just let me out here." And Soul's like, "But you'll die." And he's like, "Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I get it." And then miraculously they find Earth. So even just his trip getting here is like trauma compounded 100 times. So
there's like, what was it, like 2 or 3 years with the Kents?
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't even say years. Was it years?
I think he did get a little bit of time.
I think it was like maybe a month.
He was there long
two.
enough to gain affection and help them on the farm and learn, like it took me as like a year or two.
Yeah, we did some time skipping of like the time it took for Saul to learn the language and then instill it into Superman. et cetera. So
I felt they made an impact on him.
I'd say 1 to 2 years max. Yeah,
and now he's dead.
Who?
I guess
Superman?
Pa Kent's dead. Ma Kent is in a home.
Oh yeah, we
kind of
a few issues ago. I forgot about
losing
that.
her mind a little bit.
We don't
right?
really
She's
know,
getting old.
but we do know that he had to flee, and it was left that like they were going to be in trouble. So
well, yeah, and then she's in a home.
But
in
we
a
don't
bed.
know where he is. He could be fucking incarcerated for all I know.
Oh yeah, she's got a picture of him.
Yeah.
But yeah, she doesn't even know who he is. She keeps screaming for Jonathan, and she's just losing her mind.
So this for me, this character, that's a great point. The Henry Cavill version had all of that instilled in him.
Yeah.
His whole life, happiness, hope.
Yeah. Pa Kent for years.
But then still was dour and the burden of a god.
Yeah.
This one, the burden of a god, just looking for hope, looking for it. And I think that's much more interesting.
Yeah. It's a really good book.
It's a really good book.
Yeah, it's so good.
Speaking of another big Superman book.
Fresh AF.
Yeah, big.
Fresh AF.
Fresh AF.
Fresh AF. A big Superman book came out today.
The Summer of Superman presents DC #1 Superman Treasury 2025 Hero for All.
This is not all in.
This is gigantic. This is bigger than a magazine, but it's still a comic book. It's still staple bound.
I want to say, I mean, how big is this?
Yeah, we are discussing the square footage of this book, not just the thickness
Hold
of
on.
it. For the rest of it.
I have an actual tape measure here. This is 10 wide by 13 and a half tall.
So am I.
It's bigger than an absolute.
It's bigger than an absolute. But this is written by Dan Jurgens with art by
Bruno
Redondo, who you may recall from his amazing work on the Nightwing series by Tom Taylor. And this is great. This is an evergreen Superman book that you can just pick up, and it's awesome. I really like this book.
Yeah, the book takes place it takes place after. Actually, it's like a continuation of Jurgens' run. He did Action Comics during Rebirth, and Peter Tomasi did Superman during Rebirth. Yeah, Superman and Son stuff. This takes place in that continuity or right after it, before Bendis takes over the book, because we have a preteen John.
And they show the Teen Titans, and it's that the Glass Titans.
Yeah, that's Rebirth era. Yeah. So this is air quotes in continuity. It's just not current continuity. But to your point, it is very evergreen. And also the back, like there's an art switch, and the back half is kind of almost like a Superman greatest hits recap. Not unlike what Dan Slott did in Superman Unlimited.
Unlimited, that's what it's called, yeah.
But yeah, this is a huge book. Yeah. And it's beautiful.
If you go to see Superman this week and you want a Superman book, grab this.
Yeah,
it's great.
$14.99. It's a giant meal. Yeah. Like it really is. It's
like a trade paperback.
Basically. But yeah, it's like 70 pages, 60 pages.
Yeah, it's a chunky boy.
It's a big boy. I made the mistake of reading this first this week, and then I immediately read Fantastic Four, and it just felt like I was holding a chicklet I was holding.
yeah.
I was looking like I was reading comics on the back of a Bazooka Joe
Yeah.
bubblegum wrapper compared to this. It was so weird.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was so weird. Maybe it's because I'm old, but either way, it was like
If you shave a comic's pubes, it makes it look bigger. I'm so sorry.
So thank you.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you for joining us this week.
Yeah, if you listen, speaking of Superman, if you go to see Superman this week and you're like, "Holy cats, Superman's great! I want to read some Superman comics," on the shelves right now, you could grab Joshua Williamson's Super Core, which is just the first trade paperback volume of his awesome run that's currently going on. Highly recommend. Also,
Super Corp, not Core.
Oh, you're right. It is Corp.
It's a corporation.
It is a
Super
Corp. I get so many people come in and they're like, "Do you have the Green Lantern Corpse?" No. I have the Green Lantern Corps.
To their credit, it's
I don't
stupid.
actually say that, but yeah, Super Corp.
No, you stupid, dumb,
Idiot.
illiterate loser.
What were you gonna say, Jeremy?
Oh, I just said to their credit, the spelling of core is dumb.
Corpse.
It's
It is-
probably
it's spelled corpse.
it's probably French or some shit. I don't know, but it's awful.
And then also, one of my all-time favorite Superman runs was by John Byrne in the 80s, post-crisis. It's just called Superman, the Man of Steel. It's in a hardcover right now. 4 hardcovers. You can grab the first one. But yeah, there's good soups out there.
All-Star Superman.
All-Star, of
DC
course.
Compact Edition. Actually, I would, if anybody is interested in reading Superman that's not like current on the shelf, DC Compact Edition, $9.99 each. All-Star Superman and Superman Birthright. Both are absolutely phenomenal, and they do, I guess they give a little bit of context into the tone and some of the details of the movie.
You know what Jeremy ordered yesterday?
That box.
He was
set?
like, "Hey, what do I read if I like the Superman movie?" And there is actually a Superman. What was it? Superman Legacy was the original name of the movie, but they changed it. Superman Legacy box set, which is 5 trade paperbacks.
Something like that.
For
With
$80.
like All-Star, Birthright.
It's
I wanted
All
Seasons.
All-Star, Birthright,
Kingdom
the Man
Come.
of Tomorrow.
Oh, Kingdom Come. Yeah, Kingdom
also,
Come.
isn't like
Sounds a good one.
the Man of Tomorrow, the Alan Moore.
Oh,
in
Whatever
there?
Happened to the Man of Tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then Kingdom Come.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, it's
Those
all
are
stuff.
all bangers.
Yeah, it's all stuff that I have been intending to read. It just seems like honestly,
Now you got a
it
dope
was
little
like
box set for
what,
it.
like $85, something like that. It's not bad.
I have a history of being one of those people who's like, Superman's boring. I don't like Superman, and I've come around. I like Superman a lot.
Yeah. There's
It's-
something.
A lot of it has to do with his supporting cast as well.
Yeah.
I
So
love those
I
guys.
think I just got to it. It's like a bell curve. When I was younger, Superman's dope because he could pick up a planet and throw it, and yeah. And then when I got a little older, that was boring to me.
Yeah.
And then I came back around even older of, it's not that he could pick up a planet and throw it. It's that he shouldn't and knows when not to and is kind despite the power. So like it was a weird like maturity curve of why I liked him younger
agree.
and then why I like him now. But in the middle, it just seemed a little boring because I was looking for something more complex. But I think the complexity and the conflict actually is him not succumbing to that. And yeah. That's the character.
Yeah.
And I think people that find that appealing will find the movie appealing.
I can't wait. I am so excited. We're gonna Jeremy and I are gonna go see it tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, screw you, Noel. You can't come.
I don't want to.
Good.
Great.
You don't want to see it again?
I am already seeing it again on Sunday.
Nice.
Wow. He saw it the first time without you and a second time without you. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa, when you put it like that, ouch!
Yeah.
Damn it, it's fine.
I'm gonna pick what time are you guys going tomorrow?
None of your business.
I already know. But what time are you going tomorrow?
6:40.
6:40. All right. I'm gonna go to like the 5:30.
Great.
I thought you were gonna go and just sit on the other side of the auditorium.
Or I'll watch it in a different house and then meet you afterwards and be like, oh, it was so great without you. You guys see it again? You see it again? Yeah.
All right, guys. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, email us at cultpopgo@gmail.com.
And be sure to join us live every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and Facebook, all the things where you find our socials. Last week we talked about... I forgot. What did we talk about last week?
Ironheart and something else.
It was a movie. Oh, Megan.
Oh yeah, Megan 2.0.
Megan 2.0.
Yeah.
And this upcoming week, we're going to talk about Jurassic Park. It's going to be great. Join us Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock. If you can't, you could still watch the show. It's going to be fun.
Also, comment, like, subscribe. Do all those things
do
that
all
help
those
us.
things,
We
man.
don't make any money on this,
That's not their business.
so they should.
I do, actually.
But so I'm just saying, help us out. All right. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, and we'll talk at you later.
Do do do.
Thank you for listening to the CultPop Network, home to podcasts, live shows, and a whole lot of fun stuff for every flavor of fan. Follow us wherever you find your favorite podcasts, and be sure to join us live every Wednesday night at youtube.com/CultPopGo at 8 p.m. Eastern. While you're there, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you'll know when we drop new Thunder Rounds and episodes of Fresh Floppies, a spoiler-free show about single-issue comics released each week. Until then, we'll talk at you later.